When one understands gratitude as a form of a relationship that one has to another person, or to a thing that another person has given, this whole relationship to that person and the object, it transforms, it changes. And I think if we keep that in mind, and if we think also that one of the reasons why we give gifts is not simply to kind of enrich or benefit the person, but also to create a cycle of gift giving so that that person in turn becomes a giver, and the places of gratitude and gift, they exchange and they start circulating. Now, once one thinks of gift giving and gratitude in those terms, then we realize, many people have imagined actually God's Trinitarian life to be just such gift-giving exchanges where we receive and where divine persons receive and they give. And I think what also changes is both when we think of our lives in those terms, what changes is that we both see differently persons, now very ordinary sense of that term, and also things. I always like to talk about how my father, who's now deceased, has given me a fountain pen. These are not appreciated these days so much because we don't write with hand, but it was gold-nibbed fountain pen. It was a relatively simple one, a Pelican pen. And I can imagine now that somebody, I could go somewhere, if I had money, I could buy myself a much nicer fountain pen. And yet I would never prefer that nicer fountain pen to the one that my father gave me. Why is that? Because somehow my father is in that pen. When I have a relationship to that pen, I have a relationship to him. And if it's a gift of somebody who loves me or who I love, then I realize that this whole object becomes alive in a very different way. What was just an ordinary object becomes a sacrament of the presence of that other person. And I think gratitude recognizes this in things, that God is a giver of these things. When we are grateful, those things become alive to us in a very different way. Persons become alive to us also in a very different way. So I think that this stands toward the world, gratitude that stands toward the world, is fundamental to a flourishing life. So I would say we need kind of two things in order to or if we look in terms of circumstances, we need two things in order to flourish. We need to have things, we're physical, biological beings, and therefore we need to have things that will satisfy our basic need. Maybe we need also a little bit more, because we are also cultural beings and not just physical beings. And those are things that are our needs. They change, but nonetheless, we can kind of identify what things that we need. Now, that's what we need. But if we only have these things, such things, they become almost dead to us. They become things to us. They have utility value, but they don't have we don't have affection for them. Whereas when you have something given to us as a gift, or when we relate in a certain ways to things, they can become then we can come to feel almost at home with them. Just like I feel at home with this pen, fountain pen that my father gave me, so also can happen with other ordinary things. I believe that this relationship to the world is in fact what's significant for flourishing, because it makes possible joy and wonder and the beauty and kind of surprise in the world.